Start with a little music. The theme today and the week is Inhabit Change. Here's David Whyte. The only choice we have as we mature is how we inhabit our vulnerability, how we become larger and more courageous and more compassionate through our intimacy with disappearance. Working hard at change doesn't work. I must allow it to work me. I take this moment to shift to ease in the middle of change, to inhabit vulnerability. Allowing myself to relax, I open to the peace of the inner kingdom, to fertile soil, using what is within me to enlarge my life, to be more courageous and more compassionate through our intimacy with disappearance. Welcome to Shelter and Grace, a sound meditation for our one wild and precious life. This sound meditation series is about renewable caregiving of ourselves, our others, and the world, to be better gardeners of our one wild and precious life. It's brought to you by myself, Reverend Elizabeth Hager, and San Francisco Unity. The attributions today are, you heard a little bit about from David Whyte. He's a contemporary poet. This is from his book about words, Consolations, the solace, nourishment, and underlying meaning of everyday words. Really interesting. Beautiful poet. And a little bit from my book, Rule Number 14, It Takes as Long as It Takes. And Hafez will take us out with his poem, translated by Ladinsky, called I Got Kin. And the background video is from Pixels. Last week, I was focusing on our renewable inner resources and using them. Love, friendship, memory, and another less-known superpower of allowing ourselves to pause and relax, to recharge. All of these are a circle and a flow. We can block them, but fortunately we can never stop them. But we can allow them in. This week, the theme, I think, will be change and our adaptation to it, growing through it. So here's a paradox of the moment. Working hard at change doesn't work. I must allow it to work me. Very AA. Ellen Wofelt, one of my bereavement professors, talks about the 6 needs of grief and mourning, which is change. It's the ultimate change. Is to begin by acknowledging the reality of that change in our bones. It takes a while. Change is a process, and it takes as long as it takes. Here's something, part of Rule Number 14, the second section called The Trenches. Being from the American prairie, with our overdeveloped work ethic, we don't do grief or change. We force ourselves up and onward. This self-denial is not unique to the prairie. It happens with many. All of us work hard and ache to feel again the safety of belonging, which change takes from us. Working hard at change doesn't work. If you are in change, it's healthy to dwell, even wallow. So to be ready, so you can move forward and ripe to begin life again. It must be mourned, that loss. But to keep moving optimistically makes a lot of living sense. The trouble is, when life inevitably brings us to our knees, we do not generally stay down long enough to feel what needs to be felt. We don't dwell long enough to heal our resilience. Or I didn't. Grit is insanely useful in caregiving, not so much in change and grief. We must listen to our own clock. Ignore the cultural timekeepers who are all too happy to tell you how much and how long change will take. Err on the side of kindness for yourself and your new life. If I am kind, pain will not become suffering. You will know when it's time to move on. Yes, you may linger a little bit longer than necessary or optimally efficient. Wallow away. Grow something wonderful in your tilled soil of loss and change. The next chapter of our lives waits on this investment of time in the trenches of love. Here's David Whyte again, the entire quote. The only choice we have as we mature is how to inhabit our vulnerability, how to become larger and more courageous and more compassionate through our intimacy with disappearance. Our choice is to inhabit vulnerability as generous citizens of loss, robustly and fully, or conversely, as misers and complainers, reluctant and fearful, always at the gates of existence, but never bravely and completely attempting to enter, never wanting to risk ourselves, never walking fully through the door. Let's take that into our meditation today. So what is your intention today? What's the one thing you would like to claim? And what is the one thing you would like to let go of? The power of the one. Let's take 3 bells and decide. And we begin. So let's take a moment to check in. How is your body feeling today? Does any part of it need a little bit more love and attention? Let's breathe into that. Let's take a breath together from the belly all the way out. Hold it. Let it light you up. And exhale. Exhale all that is not yours to do in this very moment. Three superpowers in this meditation. Sound, because we are sound. And when we choose beauty, we choose the higher. We resonate higher, automatically. We send sound actively to any place that needs a little more attention, a little more love. Let's breathe in sound now. Breathe in through the belly. Letting go of all that has come before and all the to-do lists that will follow you later. Drop down. Drop down to the kingdom, always available. Let's breathe in the kingdom now. Breathe it in. And exhale. Breath, sound. But what supercharges merges them both is the power of gratitude. According to the neuroscientists and the ancients, it makes us feel better. As much as some of the common antidepressants, equal to serotonin uptake and dopamine uptake of Prozac or Wellbutrin. Think about that. Always at hand. Let's breathe in gratitude through the heart, whatever's up for you today. Whatever color, flavors, sound, image that you're grateful for, breathe it in through the heart. Breathe it in. And exhale. Continue using your breath, using gratitude, using sound, the sounds of nature. Those are the tools. That's the palette. Find yourself drifting, making none of it wrong. Gather yourself back to center. All the pieces of yourself, gather them back. Drop down. Begin again. The only choice we have as we mature is how we inhabit vulnerability, how we become larger and more courageous and more compassionate through our intimacy with disappearance. I take this moment to shift to ease in the middle of change. Allowing myself to relax, I open, to become larger, more courageous, and more compassionate through the intimacy with disappearance. The only choice we have as we mature is how we inhabit our vulnerability, how we become larger and more courageous and more compassionate through our intimacy with disappearance. We remember this place of compassion, of wisdom, home, always available when we drop down. This power place where we are fully resourced, filled up, ready to do what is ours to do, freshly, new ground. We remember this place. So it is. I aspire today to stay in balance, and I hope that you have found some beautiful inspiration to do the same, to stay open to your web of possibilities for renewal right in front of you, and to receive, to be open to that abundant nourishment within which we all vibrate, and to use your power to bloom as wise gardeners of our lives and of this world, and so to grow a life of courage and kindness and honor. The final blessing today is a poem by Hafez, translated by Ladinsky. It's called I Got Kin. Plant so that your own heart will grow. Sing because this is the food our starving world needs. Laugh because it is the purest sound. Be the encouraging light we seek. With every breath, open again. Thank you so much for joining me today. Blessings on your day. Thank you.